Well, it's all right in front of them. The New York Mets today have to win a game to make the playoffs. Win a game, make the playoffs. It's as simple as that. They play 2 against the Braves. They've earned it. They've gotten this far. It's the day after the regular season. They are the only 2 teams playing, the Mets and the hated Braves. And either both of them are going to make the playoffs. One of them is going to make the playoffs. Arizona is sitting, watching, very, very interested in what's going to happen here today. And it doesn't get more exciting than this. We're 15 minutes away from first pitch or from the game coming on the air. It's on SNY. It's also going to be on ESPN across the country. And I don't think this has ever happened before. There's never been a doubleheader on the day after the season ends with the season on the line, with playoff spots on the line. Now, you could argue that, you know, these teams are getting screwed because they're going to have to burn their staffs out, and they're going to be at a disadvantage going into tomorrow, wherever they go. That's true. But you know what? You didn't clinch. Nobody clinched. So there was a hurricane. Nobody clinched. It was an act of God. There's nothing you could do about it. You hear there's plenty of teams that would trade places with you in a heartbeat to be here. Now, here's the scenarios going into today's games. Now, it's very simple. If they split the doubleheader, they both get in. Both the Mets and the Braves get in if they split the doubleheader. If one team sweeps, then that team would be the 5 seed, and Arizona would get in as the 6 seed. So if the Mets win a game and the Braves win a game, they both get in. The Mets are the 6 seed, the Braves are the 5 seed. The Mets go to Milwaukee, the Braves go to San Diego. If the Mets sweep the doubleheader, the Mets are then the 5 seed. They go to San Diego. Arizona goes to Milwaukee tomorrow night. If the Braves sweep the doubleheader, then the Braves are the 5 seed and Arizona goes to the doubleheader. So the only team out of these 3 now that's just helpless, sitting home watching they can't do anything about it. They've done everything they can is the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks lost yesterday. The Mets won yesterday. I'm sorry. Arizona and the Mets won yesterday. The Braves lost yesterday. And that's where we get. That's how we are where we are. And it's an unprecedented thing. They've never had this before. It's a doubleheader. I don't think it's going to be a sellout. They're not expecting a sellout. I heard that the tickets are rather cheap. They're about, you can get in the building, and the in the building price is like $40, which, that's not really saying that much for the Braves. And the Braves have never drawn good crowds. But the Mets fans, there will be some Mets fans in the building. You could bank it that there will be Mets fans in the building. And let's get to the lineups real quick. Let's get to the Mets lineup right off the bat here. It's out. It's ready. We're ready to go. And our boy's back, right? He had a great game yesterday. He is with a hurt back. The 2 games that he put together in the loss 2 days ago and yesterday with the home run and everything. Francisco Lindor leading off, playing shortstop. Iglesias hitting in the 2-hole, playing second. Third, you got Vientos. Nimmo in the cleanup spot. Again, Nimmo and Alonso. He's put Nimmo now in that cleanup spot. Nimmo had a big game yesterday, too. So Nimmo hitting cleanup in the left. Alonso hitting 5th. And then J.D. Martinez, who broke out yesterday after an 0 for 36, finally broke out, got himself 2 hits. He's back in, he's in the lineup. He's back in the DH. Then you got 7, 8, 9 is Tyrone Taylor, Alvarez, who is, you got to watch Alvarez because he got the bad back 2 days ago, back spasms, and then yesterday he had a hamstring cramp. I don't know what to expect from Alvarez. He's hitting 8th, and you got Bader hitting ninth. And so they got Taylor. So what it is he left Marte off the lineup, right? Marte's out for at least the game one. He's got Bader and Tyrone Taylor both in the lineup. Bader's the better defensive player. He's playing center field, and you got Taylor playing right field, who swings a good bat. And you got Martinez, who broke out. Listen, I feel very good about the games, and we have a couple voicemails and a couple texts from people that you know that I'm going to read for you in a minute. But I'm feeling very good about this. Now, on the mound, it's McGill. Now, has McGill been great? McGill has not been great. Not this year. Lately, he has been better. Lately, he has been much better. The Mets, in his last 5 starts, the Mets have won every one of those games. He went 7 innings once. The rest of them, he went like 3 and 4 innings. Expect him to go about 4 innings today. I'm not expecting much more than that, but he's pitched great. 1.78 ERA in those 5 games. The hitters are hitting under 200, below the Mendoza line, and he's the starter for game 1. It's the biggest game that he's probably ever pitched. And hopefully he can follow up what Peterson did yesterday. And how good was Peterson yesterday? I mean, you can't say enough about how good Peterson was and how big of a performance that was. For him to come out in a must-win game, to pitch 7 one-hit innings, scoreless innings, he struck out 8. It was just money. And Peterson, and even Manaea too. I give Manaea a pass the other day. He didn't pitch great. He got squeezed by the umpires. There were the bad calls. It was kind of the thing got off the rails before it ever started. First inning, he's down 4-0. But Peterson yesterday, to come out and pitch that game in that spot is just huge. And it gets us to today with the doubleheader. Now, the way the teams are going to play it is whoever wins the first game is basically going to play a B team in the second game. That's why it's more than likely going to be a split. But they're going to play a B team because they have to reserve. They got a playoff game tomorrow. Whoever wins the first game, they have a playoff game tomorrow. So you can't really go and try. Yes, you want to eliminate the Braves, and I'm sure the Braves want to eliminate the Mets, but you can't sacrifice that for a playoff, for a playoff game, game 1 tomorrow. Now, I would love more than nothing than to sweep through this doubleheader today in Atlanta, send the Braves packing, just for everything that the Mets fans have gone through with Atlanta over the past 30 years, 20, 25, 30 years. Send them packing. We are the better team. We have been the better team for most of this season. The Braves were riddled with injuries for most of the season. Now, the Braves they're not neither team is pitching their best guy in the first game. What they're doing is they're saving him just in case for the second game. You got Sale that could pitch. That's going to pitch if the Braves lose the first game. He's pitching the second game. Short rest. If the Mets lose the first game, they're going to go with Severino. Who's going to pitch the second game if the Mets win? I don't know. The bullpen, you got Diaz is available. A lot of people were saying, oh, why'd they pitch Diaz yesterday? It was 5-0. Why'd they pitch, why'd they pitch any of the pitches out of the bullpen that they are going to count on for today? And they did it because they didn't get Diaz hasn't worked in a week. You saw when he came in, he was shaky. You'd rather that be yesterday than today, right? So they went in, they got him a little bit of work. He threw a couple pitches. He was a little shaky. Now he's back, and he's going to pitch today, and he can pitch both games if he has to. Now, the one part of this that I do not like is the bullpen. And I've told you a million times, I don't like the bullpen. I think the bullpen is going to be the reason why this team gets eliminated eventually, whenever it does happen. But you got to go with Diaz. He's your best. And you got to trust him. And hopefully, if he gets the opportunity today, he gets it done. Expect a big game. I expect nothing but a big game from Lindor because he's done it all year. He's been a MVP candidate. He's going to finish second in the MVP. He did it yesterday. He did it yesterday injured. I don't know what to expect from Alvarez. I don't expect Alvarez to catch both games. I think that's asking a lot, especially with the injuries the last 2 days. We'll see what the Mets do. Hopefully they get it done in the first game, right? Then we don't have to worry. Then you could sit back, relax, and just root for the Braves to be knocked out by our reserves, a B team. I got a text just about 15 minutes ago from good friend of the show, Bob Usler, one of our best gets. And here is what he had to say about the game. He said, "I'm very confident about game one, Bob. After we win that, if the B team can eliminate the Braves, so be it. If not, so be it. Let's go Mets." That's Bob Usler. About 15 minutes ago, texted me with that. We also put up to get some voicemails. We got one here from Cliff Connors, who was a guest on the show just last week. And here's what Cliff had to say about today's game.
What's up? Cliff Connors here, just a guest on the show a couple nights ago. SUNY Canton assistant coach, Clinton County Mariners 17U head coach. Big things happening today for the Mets. Got to get one. It's going to be a big day for Lindor, big day for Nimmo. Got a feeling these are the guys. These are the guys that want it. It's our time, baby. Let's go. One time, one win. Let's go, Mets.
So that's Cliff Connors of the Plattsburgh, of the upstate baseball coach. He was on the show just a couple days ago. We're going to have him on again. And that big Mets fan, big Bills fan. He's riding, he's suffering a little bit after last night from the Bills losing. But this is it, guys. It's one game. It just win one. You got to win one of two. Most doubleheaders are split. I got my captain at work who's telling me, don't say that. He's yelling at me about the Mets because I'm a pessimist. Okay, I do feel good about game one, though. You don't want to lose game one and have to go and sweat it out game two. You don't want to do that because then then it's all hands on deck. I think it's going to be not all hands on deck in game one because you got to play conservative. It's fascinating. It's fascinating to watch what these managers are going to do today in game one, still knowing one of them is going to need game two to save their season. If it's a tight game in game one, it's going to be absolutely fascinating to see how these managers play it. Because if, let's say it's 3-3 or it's a one-run game going to the eighth inning, how do you play it? Because you gotta at least caution against the fact that you might lose this game, and then you're gonna have to go all out, everybody, all hands on deck in game two. Can't wait to see it. It's fascinating. It's something that we've never seen before. You've never seen a doubleheader like this with everything on the line. You've been playing baseball for 6 months. Everything's on the line, and it's a doubleheader. It's crazy. Now, is it fair? It's probably not fair, but it is what it is. I would love it to be two teams to have the Mets not involved in this, to be honest with you, because then you're not worried about it. Then you could sit back and you could just kind of analyze it and enjoy the baseball. It's going to be tough for us Mets fans to enjoy this game one unless they blow it out. And hopefully they come out big. They come out with some runs in the first inning. The pitcher, Smellenbach for the Braves, he's lights out against the Mets. Lights out. The Mets couldn't touch him the last time he pitched against them. Hopefully now the second time, now they've seen him. That was the first time they've seen him. Now hopefully they've seen him. They know what to expect. They do good against pitches the second time. They've done it before. You've watched it. I could name a couple of them. But they've been shut down by pitchers. Then they see him again the next time, and they hit him, and they score a bunch of runs. So that's it. We're going to be back in between games. Brett and myself, I believe, in between games. And after, we're going to be with you guys all day. So it's Mets, it's the Braves, it's game one. It starts in just a couple minutes. Enjoy it, everybody. Let's go, Mets. Let's get a win today. Let's see what we can do. And hopefully, we get ourselves a win. Let's go, Mets.
To get up. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs.